The Zephyrian fleet descended through Earth's atmosphere like metallic locusts, their ships casting shadows across entire continents. Admiral Sarah Chen watched the tactical display from the underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, her knuckles white as she gripped the edge of the holographic table. 3 months of resistance had cost humanity nearly everything. The aliens' energy shields deflected every missile, every laser, every desperate attempt at nuclear retaliation. "Status report," Chen commanded, her voice steady despite the chaos erupting above ground. Lieutenant Rodriguez pulled up the global situation map. Red zones covered most major cities. "We've lost Sydney, Tokyo, and most of the European capitals. The Zephyrians are systematically dismantling our infrastructure. Their ground forces are unlike anything we've encountered." The Zephyrians stood nearly 8 feet tall, with crystalline exoskeletons that seemed to absorb and redirect energy. Their weapons fired concentrated plasma bolts that could melt through tank armor like butter. Worse yet, they moved with mechanical precision, communicating through subsonic frequencies that human ears couldn't detect. Dr. Marcus Webb, the base's chief xenobiologist, burst through the command center doors. His usually pristine lab coat was stained with coffee and exhaustion. "Admiral, I need to show you something. It might sound insane, but I think we've been approaching this war all wrong." Chen turned from the display, her patience wearing thin. "Doctor, unless you've found a way to penetrate their shields, I don't have time for theories." "That's exactly what I've found." Webb activated his portable tablet, projecting a 3-dimensional model of a Zephyrian soldier. "We've been studying their physiology for weeks, trying to understand their weaknesses. Their crystalline structure makes them incredibly durable, but it also creates specific resonance frequencies." The model rotated, highlighting the aliens' internal structure. "Their entire nervous system operates on harmonic vibrations. Disrupt those frequencies, and you can essentially scramble their coordination and communication." Lieutenant Rodriguez leaned forward. "So we need some kind of sonic weapon?" Webb shook his head vigorously. "We tried that. Their armor dampens most artificial sound waves, but there's something else." He pulled up a new file, and the sound of cackling laughter filled the command center. "Is that—" Chen began. "Spotted hyenas. Crocuta crocuta." Webb's eyes gleamed with the fervor of discovery. Their vocalizations operate in a specific frequency range between 400 and 1,000 hertz. But more importantly, their laughter, that distinctive whooping call, creates irregular, chaotic sound patterns that our computers can't replicate. The room fell silent, except for the continued alien assault reverberating through the mountain above them. Chen stared at Webb as if he'd lost his mind. "You're suggesting we fight an advanced alien civilization with hyenas?" "Not just any hyenas," Webb continued, his excitement building. "I've been analyzing footage from the African resistance. There's a pack in the Serengeti that's been attacking Zephyrian ground troops. The aliens retreat every time they encounter these specific animals. At first, I thought it was coincidence, but then I realized what was happening." He pulled up combat footage from Kenya. Grainy satellite imagery showed a group of spotted hyenas surrounding a Zephyrian patrol. The aliens' normally fluid movements became jerky and uncoordinated. Several fell to their knees, clutching their crystalline heads. "The hyenas' vocalizations are disrupting their neural networks," Webb explained. "But there's more. Hyenas hunt in coordinated packs. They're incredibly adaptable, and they have one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom. 1,100 pounds per square inch. Their jaws can crack bones, and apparently they can crack Zephyrian armor." Colonel Harrison, the base's military strategist, laughed bitterly. "Even if this works, how do you propose we deploy wild animals in a coordinated military operation?" Dr. Elena Vasquez stepped forward from the back of the room. As the base's animal behaviorist, she'd been quietly listening to the exchange. Actually, it's not impossible. Hyenas are highly intelligent. They have complex social structures and can be trained to respond to specific commands. During World War II, the Soviets successfully trained dogs for combat operations. Chen rubbed her temples, feeling the weight of humanity's survival pressing down on her shoulders. How long would this take to implement? We have a contact at the San Diego Zoo, Vasquez continued. They've been working with a pack of spotted hyenas for behavioral research. The animals are already semi-domesticated and could be transported here within 48 hours. Additionally, there are several wildlife preserves in Africa that might cooperate. Webb pulled up additional data. I've been running simulations based on the Serengeti footage. A coordinated pack of 12 to 15 hyenas could theoretically disable an entire Zephyrian squad. Their laughter alone would create enough neural disruption to break their formation, and then the pack could attack their vulnerable joints. The command center's main screen flickered, showing live footage from Denver. Zephyrian ground forces moved through the abandoned streets like ghosts, their energy weapons systematically destroying everything in their path. Buildings collapsed in fountains of sparks and debris. "Admiral," Rodriguez reported, "we're receiving distress calls from Colorado Springs. The Zephyrians are moving toward NORAD. They'll reach the perimeter defenses within 6 hours." Chen closed her eyes for a moment, weighing impossible options. Conventional warfare had failed. Nuclear weapons were useless against their shields. Humanity was running out of time, and now her chief scientist was proposing to fight back with zoo animals. "Dr. Webb," she said finally, "what's your confidence level in this theory?" "Based on the African data and our resonance analysis, I'd say 70% chance of tactical success. But, Admiral, that's better odds than any conventional weapon has given us." Chen looked around the command center at her exhausted staff. Young men and women who'd been fighting a losing battle for months, watching their world burn while alien invaders systematically dismantled human civilization. They needed hope, even if it came in the form of laughing carnivores. "Contact the San Diego Zoo," she ordered. "And get me General Morrison on a secure channel. If we're going to weaponize wildlife, we'll need every facility in North America." Webb's face lit up with relief. "Admiral, there's one more thing. The pack dynamics are crucial. Hyenas operate under a matriarchal system. The females are larger, more aggressive, and natural leaders. We'll want to focus on acquiring female specimens." "Great," Colonel Harrison muttered. "We're putting our faith in a pack of wild females with attitude problems." Dr. Vasquez shot him a sharp look. "Colonel, those females with attitude problems might just save our species. Hyenas are survivors. They've existed virtually unchanged for millions of years because they adapt and overcome. Right now, that's exactly what humanity needs to do." The next 24 hours blurred together in frantic preparation. Military transports raced across the continent, collecting hyenas from zoos, wildlife preserves, and research facilities. Dr. Vasquez worked around the clock, developing rapid conditioning protocols to prepare the animals for combat deployment. Meanwhile, Webb and his team refined their understanding of Zephyrian vulnerabilities. They discovered that the aliens' crystal-based nervous system created feedback loops when exposed to chaotic frequency patterns. The more irregular the sound, the more disruptive the effect. Chen watched the preparations from the observation deck overlooking the base's new Tactical Animal Deployment Center, essentially a reinforced section of the underground complex that had been hastily converted into holding areas for their unlikely allies. "Admiral," Lieutenant Rodriguez approached with the latest intelligence reports. "We've confirmed similar incidents in Australia and South Africa. Wild dingo packs and African wild dogs are showing similar effectiveness against Zephyrian forces. It seems like pack hunters with specific vocalization patterns are naturally equipped to fight these aliens." "Any word from our overseas contacts?" The Australian government is organizing dingo capture operations, and the South African Defence Force is working with local conservationists to coordinate wild hyena packs. If your plan works, we might have allies across the globe. Chen nodded, watching as the first transport arrived. Through reinforced windows, she could see cages being carefully unloaded. The spotted hyenas inside appeared remarkably calm, their distinctive rounded ears alert and intelligent eyes scanning their new environment. Dr. Vasquez emerged from the animal facility, her hands scratched, but her expression optimistic. The first pack is settling in well. We've identified the alpha female, a specimen from San Diego named Kahindo. She's already establishing dominance and seems to understand that something significant is happening. How quickly can we deploy them? Give me 18 hours for basic conditioning. These animals are smart, Admiral. They know the difference between play and real danger. Once they understand what we're asking of them, their natural instincts will take over. As if summoned by their conversation, a series of whooping calls echoed through the facility. The distinctive laughter of spotted hyenas reverberated off the concrete walls, creating an eerie harmony that sent chills down Chen's spine. Webb appeared at her shoulder, tablet in hand. I've been monitoring those vocalizations. Even in captivity, their calls are generating the exact frequency patterns we need. Admiral, I think this might actually work. The tactical display updated with new intelligence. Zephyrian forces were consolidating their positions around major population centers, apparently preparing for some kind of final assault. Humanity had perhaps 48 hours before complete global occupation became inevitable. Chen activated the base's intercom system. All personnel. This is Admiral Chen. In approximately 36 hours, we will launch Operation Howling Moon. I know it sounds unorthodox, but unconventional warfare is humanity's greatest strength. We adapt, we improvise, and we survive. The Zephyrians have superior technology, but they don't understand Earth's natural world. That's about to become their greatest weakness. She paused, listening to another chorus of hyena laughter echoing through the facility. Prepare for deployment. It's time to show these aliens what happens when they invade a world full of apex predators. The Colorado morning air carried an unusual tension as Operation Howling Moon prepared to launch. Admiral Chen stood in the mobile command unit, watching live feeds from strategically positioned cameras around the Denver metropolitan area. Zephyrian forces had occupied the city for 2 weeks, their crystalline figures patrolling empty streets with mechanical precision. "Status report on Pack Alpha," Chen requested, adjusting her tactical headset. Dr. Vasquez's voice crackled through the communication system from the deployment zone. "Kahindo and her team are in position. 14 females, all responding well to the scent markers we've placed around the target area. Their stress levels are elevated but manageable. They know they're hunting." The pack had been transported in specialized vehicles designed to mask human scent, while allowing the hyenas to track Zephyrian pheromones. Webb's team had discovered that the aliens emitted distinctive chemical signatures that Earth's carnivores could detect from remarkable distances. Colonel Harrison monitored the tactical display showing Zephyrian positions throughout the city. Enemy patrol consisting of 8 soldiers is moving through the financial district. They're following their standard search pattern: systematic, predictable, and apparently unaware that they're being hunted. Chen watched the hyenas through the mobile camera attached to Kahindo's collar. The alpha female moved with fluid grace, her powerful shoulders rolling beneath spotted fur as she led her pack through the abandoned shopping district. Behind her, 13 other females followed in loose formation, their intelligent eyes scanning for threats and opportunities. Remember, Webb's voice joined the communication network from his monitoring station. The key is to let them use their natural pack tactics. Hyenas are ambush predators. They'll separate their prey and attack weak points instinctively. The Zephyrian patrol turned down 17th Street, their energy weapons sweeping methodically from building to building. Their movements were perfectly coordinated, each alien covering specific angles in a formation that had proven devastatingly effective against human forces. Kahindo's pack spread out across rooftops and through alleyways, moving with silent efficiency that contradicted their reputation as noisy scavengers. Dr. Vasquez had spent the past day studying their natural hunting behaviors, and she'd been amazed by their tactical sophistication. "Pack positioning is excellent," Vasquez reported. "Kahindo has divided them into 3 groups. The first will create noise distraction, the second will attack from the flank, and the third will cut off retreat routes. These animals understand battlefield tactics better than some human soldiers." Chen watched the hyenas take their positions. Through Kahindo's camera, she could see the lead Zephyrian soldier just 50 meters away, its crystalline exoskeleton gleaming in the morning sunlight. The alien paused, its head tilting slightly as if detecting some subtle change in the environment. "They've noticed something," Harrison observed. "Zephyrian sensors are picking up unusual movement patterns." "Initiating pack communication protocol," Vasquez announced. "In 3, 2, 1. Kahindo threw back her head and released a bone-chilling laugh that echoed off the surrounding buildings. The whooping call was immediately answered by her packmates, creating a symphony of cackling voices that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The effect on the Zephyrian patrol was immediate and dramatic. The perfectly coordinated formation stumbled as individual aliens clutched their crystalline heads with their 4-fingered hands. Their energy weapons wavered, no longer tracking targets with mechanical precision. "Neural disruption confirmed," Webb reported excitedly. "The chaotic frequency patterns are creating massive interference in their nervous systems. Look at their movement coordination. It's completely degraded." The Zephyrians attempted to regroup, but their subsonic communication network had been shattered by the hyenas' vocalizations. Individual aliens moved in different directions, some falling to their knees, while others fired randomly at shadows and empty windows. Kahindo's pack struck with predatory efficiency. The alpha female led the charge from the north, her powerful jaws targeting the joints where the aliens' crystalline armor segments connected. Her bite force, designed to crack the bones of ancient megafauna, found purchase in the microscopic gaps between armor plates. The flanking groups attacked simultaneously, 3 hyenas per alien, using coordinated tactics that seemed almost choreographed. They avoided the Zephyrians' energy weapons by staying low and moving constantly, their natural agility allowing them to dodge plasma bolts that would have vaporized human soldiers. "Incredible," Harrison breathed, watching the tactical display. "The aliens can't adapt to this kind of attack pattern. Their weapons are designed for long-range engagement with stationary targets." One Zephyrian soldier managed to fire a plasma bolt that struck the pavement near Kahindo, but she simply adjusted her approach and attacked from a different angle. Her jaws clamped down on the alien's weapon arm, and the sound of cracking crystal echoed through the communication system. "Armor breach confirmed," Webb announced. "The hyenas are finding structural weaknesses we never identified. Their bite pressure is creating fracture lines that spread through the entire exoskeleton." The battle lasted less than 4 minutes. When the hyena laughter finally subsided, 8 Zephyrian soldiers lay motionless on the street, their once impenetrable armor shattered and useless. Kahindo's pack circled the fallen enemies, their hackles raised but their aggression controlled. "Pack Alpha to command," Vasquez reported, her voice filled with amazement. "Complete tactical victory. No casualties among our forces. The aliens are definitely neutralized." Chen felt a surge of hope she hadn't experienced since the invasion began. "Outstanding work, everyone. Dr. Webb, what's the status on neural disruption effects?" "The Zephyrians appear to be in some kind of catatonic state," Webb replied. "Their nervous systems are still recovering from the frequency assault. We have a window to study their technology and biology while they're incapacitated." The success of Pack Alpha's mission triggered a cascade of similar operations across the globe. In Australia, trained dingo packs disrupted Zephyrian supply lines in the outback. South African forces coordinated with wild hyena clans to retake Johannesburg's outer districts. Even in urban environments, domestic dog breeds with specific vocal characteristics proved effective against small alien patrols. Admiral, Rodriguez approached with global intelligence updates. We're receiving confirmation of successful engagements from 17 different locations. The Zephyrians are starting to alter their patrol patterns, but they don't seem to understand what they're dealing with. Chen studied the worldwide tactical map, watching as red zones began showing patches of green, areas where animal-assisted operations had successfully driven back alien forces. The pattern was becoming clear. Earth's natural predators possessed an instinctive advantage that human technology couldn't replicate. Over the next 72 hours, Pack Alpha expanded their operations throughout the Denver area. Kahindo's leadership proved remarkable as she adapted her hunting strategies to different urban environments. The hyenas learned to use building acoustics to amplify their disruptive calls, turning entire city blocks into sonic weapons. Dr. Vasquez documented their evolving tactics with scientific fascination. They're problem-solving in real time, she explained during one of the daily briefings. Kahindo has figured out that underground areas like parking garages create echo effects that intensify the neural disruption. Yesterday, she led her pack through the subway system to attack a Zephyrian command post from below. The aliens began avoiding areas where hyena packs operated, but this created new opportunities for human forces. Conventional military units could now engage Zephyrian forces that had been softened by animal attacks, using standard weapons against aliens whose coordination and defensive systems had been compromised. It's asymmetric warfare at its finest, Colonel Harrison observed, watching footage of a joint operation in downtown Denver. The hyenas disrupt their nervous systems, and our forces finish the job with conventional weapons. The Zephyrians can't defend against both types of attack simultaneously. Webb's research team had made additional discoveries about Zephyrian biology. The aliens' crystalline structures were incredibly efficient, but also highly specialized. Their evolution on their homeworld had never prepared them for chaotic, unpredictable sound patterns. On their planet, all life forms apparently communicated through harmonic frequencies that could be easily filtered or controlled. Earth's biodiversity is our secret weapon, Webb explained to the International Coalition of Scientists now studying the phenomenon. The Zephyrians encountered a world where evolution favored adaptability over efficiency. Our animals developed survival strategies that their technology simply can't counter. As Pack Alpha prepared for their next major operation, a coordinated assault on the Zephyrian command center controlling the entire Rocky Mountain region, Chen reflected on humanity's unexpected path to victory. 3 weeks ago, she'd been preparing for the species' extinction. Now she was planning military operations around the feeding schedules of spotted hyenas. Admiral, Vasquez approached with Kahindo's latest behavioral assessment. Our alpha female is showing increased territorial responses to Zephyrian presence. She's not just hunting them anymore, she's actively seeking them out and marking their former positions with scent markers. I think she's claiming this territory for her pack. Chen watched the live feed from Kahindo's collar camera as the hyena paused at an intersection where her pack had eliminated a Zephyrian patrol the previous day. The animal's body language was confident, almost proprietary, as she surveyed the area that was now under her protection. Doctor, Chen said thoughtfully, what you're describing sounds like more than just hunting behavior. It sounds like these animals understand that they're defending their territory against invaders. That's exactly what I think is happening, Vasquez confirmed. Hyenas are territorial by nature, and they're treating the Zephyrians as invasive predators that need to be eliminated. This isn't just about following human commands anymore. It's become personal for them. The realization added a new dimension to Operation Howling Moon. Humanity wasn't just using animals as weapons. They'd accidentally recruited Earth's natural defenders in a planetary conflict between native and foreign species. The hyenas weren't fighting for human civilization. They were fighting for their own world. As the sun set over the Colorado mountains, Chen prepared for the next phase of operations. Intelligence indicated that the Zephyrians were consolidating their forces around major command centers, apparently preparing for some kind of counter-strategy. Whatever the aliens were planning, they'd severely underestimated the determination of Earth's native predators. Kahindo's voice echoed across the wilderness as she called her pack together for another hunt. The distinctive laughter that had once seemed ominous now sounded like a battle cry. The voice of a world that refused to surrender to invaders. The war for Earth had taken an unexpected turn, and humanity's greatest allies were the creatures they'd never expected to fight alongside. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but for the first time since the invasion began, Chen felt confident that Earth would survive. The planet's ultimate trump card wasn't advanced technology or military strategy. It was the raw, chaotic, adaptable spirit of life itself, embodied in the form of laughing hunters who had claimed this world as their own. The massive Zephyrian mothership hung like a dark cloud over the Nevada desert, its crystalline hull reflecting the morning sun in prismatic patterns that hurt to look at directly. Admiral Chen stood in the war room of the hastily constructed forward operating base, surrounded by representatives from every major military force on Earth and their most unusual allies. Kahindo lay calmly beside Dr. Vasquez's chair, her spotted coat freshly groomed, and her intelligent amber eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the alien command vessel. Behind her, representatives from 13 different hyena packs gathered from across North America waited with the patience of natural predators. The alpha female had become something of a celebrity among the international coalition forces, though she seemed completely uninterested in human admiration. "Final intelligence assessment," Chen announced to the assembled crowd. "The mothership contains approximately 2,000 Zephyrian soldiers and their central command structure. All planetary invasion forces are controlled from that vessel. If we can neutralize it, we end the war." Colonel Harrison pointed to the tactical display. "The ship's shields are impenetrable to conventional weapons. Nuclear strikes would be useless. And we've confirmed that their point defense systems can intercept any missile or aircraft within a 50-kilometer radius." Dr. Webb stepped forward, his tablet showing detailed scans of the mothership's structure. "However, our analysis indicates that the vessel's internal atmosphere is pressurized with the same gas mixture they breathe on their homeworld. The entire ship operates as a closed ecosystem, which means sound waves can propagate throughout the internal structure." The plan was audacious beyond anything attempted in military history. Operation Howling Eclipse would use cargo planes to paradrop coordinated hyena packs directly onto the mothership's hull. The animals would enter through maintenance ports and atmospheric vents, spreading throughout the vessel while broadcasting their disruptive vocalizations through the ship's internal atmosphere. "The risks are enormous," General Morrison acknowledged via satellite link from the Pentagon. "We're essentially asking these animals to assault a spacecraft using nothing but their natural abilities." Dr. Vasquez looked down at Kahindo, who was methodically cleaning her powerful jaws with her tongue. "General, these animals have been fighting impossible odds for millions of years and winning. Hyenas survive because they adapt to any challenge. This is just another type of hunt for them." The past month had revealed remarkable intelligence in Earth's hyena populations. Packs across Africa had begun coordinating their attacks on Zephyrian ground forces without human direction. They'd learned to recognize alien technology, avoid energy weapons, and exploit structural weaknesses that human engineers had missed completely. "Pack dynamics will be crucial," Vasquez continued. We're deploying 7 separate packs, each led by an experienced alpha female. Kahindo will coordinate the overall assault through her natural ability to communicate across pack boundaries. Webb pulled up acoustic analysis charts. The mothership's internal structure will amplify their vocalizations exponentially. Instead of disrupting individual soldiers, we'll be attacking the central nervous system that controls their entire fleet. If this works, every Zephyrian vessel in Earth's atmosphere will be affected simultaneously. The loading process took 6 hours. Specially designed drop pods had been constructed to transport the hyenas safely through Earth's atmosphere and deliver them to precise locations on the mothership's hull. Each pod contained a pack of 12 to 15 animals, along with emergency oxygen supplies and remote cameras that would allow human forces to monitor the assault. Kahindo seemed to understand the significance of the mission. As her pack was loaded into their designated pod, she remained calm and focused, occasionally whuffing softly to maintain pack cohesion. Her eyes never left the mothership hanging in the distance, as if she could sense the alien presence that threatened her territory. Transport aircraft are in position, Rodriguez reported from the Flight Operations Center. Weather conditions are optimal, and the Zephyrians show no signs of detecting our approach. The cargo planes approached the mothership from multiple angles, their stealth technology allowing them to penetrate the alien defensive perimeter. At precisely 1347 hours, 91 spotted hyenas were simultaneously dropped toward the crystalline hull of humanity's greatest enemy. Chen watched the operation through multiple camera feeds as the drop pods streaked toward their targets. The Zephyrian point defense system tracked the incoming objects, but dismissed them as debris or meteorites. The pods were too small and moving too slowly to register as military threats. Pods making contact with hull surface, reported the lead pilot. All packages delivered successfully. The hyenas emerged from their pods with remarkable composure, immediately adapting to the zero-gravity environment near the mothership's hull. Their powerful claws, evolved for gripping prey and rough terrain, proved perfectly suited for maintaining purchase on the crystalline surface. Kahindo led her pack toward the nearest atmospheric vent, her body moving with fluid grace despite the alien environment. Through her collar camera, Chen could see the alpha female pause at the vent opening, testing the air currents with her sensitive nose before committing her pack to the dangerous descent. Pack Alpha entering the vessel, Vasquez announced. Kahindo's vitals are elevated but stable. The others are following her lead. Inside the mothership, the hyenas found themselves in a maze of crystalline corridors and geometric chambers that defied human architectural understanding. The internal atmosphere was breathable, though it carried strange chemical signatures that made the animals more alert and aggressive. Webb monitored the acoustic readings as the first hyena calls echoed through the ship's interior. Initial vocalizations are propagating through the entire structure. The crystalline walls are acting like acoustic waveguides, carrying the sound to every section of the vessel. The effect began within minutes. Zephyrian crew members throughout the mothership started displaying signs of neural disruption, the same disorientation that had proven so devastating to their ground forces. But in the confined space of their command vessel, the effects were magnified exponentially. Multiple hull breaches detected, Harrison reported, monitoring the alien communication frequencies. The Zephyrians are losing control of basic ship functions. Through the camera feeds, Chen watched as Kahindo's pack moved through the ship's corridors with predatory efficiency. The hyenas seemed to instinctively understand that they needed to spread throughout the vessel, maximizing the coverage of their disruptive calls. They split into smaller groups, each led by a senior female who maintained vocal contact with Kahindo. The aliens they encountered were helpless against the assault. Zephyrian soldiers stumbled through their own ship, their crystalline nervous systems overwhelmed by chaotic frequency patterns their evolution had never prepared them to handle. Some collapsed entirely, while others wandered aimlessly through passages they could no longer navigate. "We're detecting system failures throughout the enemy fleet," Rodriguez announced. "Ships above major cities are beginning to lose altitude. Their centralized command structure is collapsing." The hyenas had found something more valuable than individual targets. They'd discovered the ship's central command chamber. Through Kahindo's camera, Chen watched as the alpha female led her reunited pack into a vast crystalline dome where dozens of Zephyrian commanders worked at complex control interfaces. The chamber's architecture amplified sound beyond anything the humans had anticipated. When all 91 hyenas began vocalizing simultaneously, the acoustic energy created feedback loops that reverberated through the mothership's entire structure. The crystalline hull itself began resonating at frequencies that interfered with Zephyrian neural patterns. "Catastrophic system failure detected across all enemy vessels," Webb reported, his voice filled with amazement. "The entire fleet is experiencing simultaneous neural disruption. They're losing control of everything: weapons, navigation, life support systems." Chen watched the tactical display as red indicators throughout the globe began shifting to green. Zephyrian forces were withdrawing from major cities, their coordinated assault falling apart as command authority collapsed. Ships that had terrorized Earth for months were now struggling to maintain basic flight operations. The mothership itself began a slow, uncontrolled descent toward the Nevada desert. Emergency protocols activated as the alien vessel lost power, but even their automated systems couldn't function while the ship's entire structure resonated with hyena vocalizations. "All packs, prepare for emergency extraction," Chen ordered. "The mothership is going down." But the hyenas had no intention of abandoning their conquest. Through multiple camera feeds, Chen watched as Kahindo led her extended pack through the disabled vessel, methodically hunting down any Zephyrian crew members who remained functional. The aliens had become prey in their own ship, hunted by Earth's most successful survivors. The mothership struck the desert floor with tremendous force, sending up clouds of sand and crystalline debris. The hull cracked but remained largely intact, creating what would become humanity's most valuable source of alien technology. Inside, the hyenas continued their work, ensuring that no Zephyrian threat remained active. When rescue teams finally reached the crash site 12 hours later, they found 91 very satisfied spotted hyenas and nearly 2,000 incapacitated Zephyrian crew members. Kahindo greeted the human soldiers with a series of territorial calls that left no doubt about who had claimed victory. "Phenomenal success," Dr. Webb reported as medical teams began evaluating both human allies and alien prisoners. "Complete neural disruption across their entire command structure. The few conscious aliens we've encountered seem to be suffering from permanent neurological damage." The global effects became clear over the following days. Zephyrian forces worldwide had lost all coordination and command authority. Most ground units surrendered without resistance, their warriors unable to function without guidance from their crystalline command network. The few ships that remained in Earth's atmosphere either crashed or fled toward deep space. Admiral Chen stood in the same Nevada desert where humanity's counterattack had reached its climax, watching as Kahindo's pack established territory markers around the downed mothership. The alpha female had claimed the alien vessel as part of her domain, and no human authority was going to argue with Earth's newest war heroes. "Final casualty assessment," Rodriguez reported during the victory briefing. "Human military losses, minimal. Hyena casualties, 0. Enemy forces, completely neutralized across all theaters of operation." Dr. Vasquez knelt beside Kahindo, offering the alpha female a piece of fresh meat as a reward for her service. The hyena accepted the tribute with regal dignity, her amber eyes scanning the horizon as if already planning patrol routes for her expanded territory. "The Zephyrians made a fundamental error," Webb explained to the assembled international press corps. They assumed that advanced technology would automatically triumph over biological evolution. They never considered that Earth's natural predators might be specifically adapted to counter their particular vulnerabilities. The war for Earth had ended not with sophisticated weapons or brilliant military strategy, but with the ancient sound of laughter echoing across an alien battlefield. Humanity had discovered that their planet's greatest defensive system wasn't hidden in underground bunkers or orbiting satellites. It was running wild in the African savanna, waiting for someone to recognize its potential. As the sun set over the Nevada desert, Kahindo's pack settled down for the evening around their conquered prize. The distinctive whooping calls of spotted hyenas carried across the wasteland, a sound that would forever remind humanity of the day their world's natural defenders rose up to drive away an alien threat. The Zephyrians had come to Earth expecting to face the weapons of an advanced civilization. Instead, they'd encountered something far more dangerous: the planet's own children, defending their home with the wisdom of millions of years of evolution. In the end, Earth's ultimate trump card wasn't technology at all. It was life itself, in all its chaotic, adaptable, unstoppable glory.